Hi everybody, welcome to ComeonyespursTV where we talk about everything Spurs. Today we are talking about Spurs and the international break. There has been so much happening in Spurs over the last few weeks. Managerial changes, rumours, Conte having a flare up. There's so much, plenty of rumours in the background about, who's going to replace Conte. And we have players also on international break. All of this we'll be talking about on the other side. We also have two guests with us today. One someone who's a regular on this program, and we also have somebody new. So yes, we'll see them on the other side. In the meantime, come on, ye Spurs. Welcome back to Come On Ye Spurs TV. We Come On Ye Spurs TV where we talk about everything Spurs. If you're new here, I will ask you to subscribe to the channel and obviously tell your people about it, your folks at home, your friends, your people in your network, and also hit the like button so we can keep giving you content of this nature. And also, if you want to get notified anytime we go live, please click on the notification bell button to ensure that you get videos anytime we post videos or we go or have our live streams. Right, this is Come On You Sports TV. Like I said, we've got with us today two guests, one new guest. We'll welcome him first before we go to the old folks. Right, Klaus, welcome to the program. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank
It's
you.
so good to have you, Klaus. I mean, you're going to tell us a little bit about yourself later, but let's just we'll park that for a moment, and then we'll just talk about Chuma. Chuma, how are you?
Oh, I'm super good. Yeah,
Good. So
Spurs,
yes,
Spurs, Spurs are on the brink of great new great things. So I'm happy.
listen, there's so much going on now that it's difficult to separate the wheat from the chaff because we really don't know what's going on. I mean, Klaus, tell us a little bit about you, so you introduce yourself to our guests, to folks back home. The man was like, who's
Okay.
Klaus?
My name is Klaus. I've been a sports supporter for the past, let's say, 15 years.
Wow.
Uh, I've learned, I've been in the journey, so I've grown with sports for a while. So, it's a sports. Being a sports fan has had a lot of ups and downs and here and there, but well, I'm
Welcome
always
to,
proud to
welcome to,
be a
welcome to the
sports.
real world. Eh?
I'm always proud to be called a sports fan any day, anytime, at anywhere. Even when you go to a gathering, I say you're a sports fan, and in Nigeria, it's a little bit weird because out of like 1,000, you just find one sports fan. But I'm always
Yeah.
proud to belong to
We're
one.
not popular in that part of the world, are we?
Yeah,
But it's always the
yes.
Man
I'm always
U's,
proud to be
the guys up the road, the Chelsea's, and
Chelsea,
you know,
the Arsenal.
even Man City is not that popular there, is there?
They became popular over the past few years
Yeah,
with
because
their
they won
winnings.
a few things, don't they? So you got the
Yeah,
glory hunters going after them, right?
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for that, Klaus. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about, this Conte in or Conte out, but let's just cut to the chase here, right? So here are the facts, right? Here
Yeah.
are the post-match rants after the Southampton game, right? That sort of made the rounds in the press, and of course that's a fact, right? There's been speculation online, in the press about his tenure. Is he going to stay? Is he going to be sacked? Is he going to stay until the end of the season or get sacked immediately? No one really knows, But there has been no statement from the club. The club has not made any statements. You don't even have any, in the past you used to have people say, oh, sources close to the club, or sources, there's been a leak somewhere saying this or that. Nothing at all. What has been there has been very, very muted and plenty of speculation, right? And it's also missed the game, the training match they had during this week. Normally you have your manager available, but he's still in Italy. Now, let's just deal with those facts for a minute, right? You know, we had that post match rant. What was that about? I mean, do you want to go first, or because I mean, I know we've had plenty of analysis about it. Should he have had that sort of meltdown? Was it was he having a go at the players? If he was having a go at the players, was it deserved? Was he having a go at the fans or the or the whole structure in the whole team? I mean, Klaus, do you want to go first with this one?
Okay, let me go first. Fine, yeah. So after the match, which everyone was disappointed about, we saw the post-match interview, and it didn't go down well. It didn't really go down well. Now, this what I think happened. He was frustrated, right? He was
Let me interrupt you for 1 minute there. So you say you didn't go down well. I mean, with who? You
He
or
didn't, I don't think there was any sports fan that really enjoyed that interview. Fine. At some point in time, you can dabble between the truth and telling the truth, right?
yeah?
But no sports fan out there really enjoyed the fact that it went out that way. There are 1001 ways you can address the issues that you are facing as a coach with the club.
Right.
That's not the way to go in any sense. You don't see clubs, you don't see Ancelotti coming out to rant against Madrid. You don't see Ateta coming like that to rant against Arsenal. Even when Wenger had issues with the board then, you don't see him coming out to rant against Arsenal. You don't see Alex Ferguson coming out to rant against them. You don't see the likes of Pochettino. Even Pochettino didn't come out to rant against them. Even despite the fact that Pochettino, we all know Pochettino was not backed as much as Conte was backed. He didn't come out to the press and start diverging things like that, putting the players under the bus, putting the ball under the bus. You don't do stuff like that, especially in a professional setting, right?
That's
Because
interesting.
yeah,
Let me just
because
hold you
instead of
there. I mean,
talking more, you do more
let me just hold
action.
you there for 1 minute. I can see Chuma. Chuma is nodding his head in agreement, right? But we'll come to you in a minute, Chuma, right? Now,
Yeah.
but you know this old press conference thing, right? And how managers react after matches, and how people sort of say all sorts of stuff, right? And I mean, later on, maybe when they calm down, they might realize that, oh, maybe I shouldn't have gone that route, or perhaps I should have maybe sort of adopted another approach. However, some people, I've heard people from the contrary perspective and say that that's exactly what the team needed at that point in time. They want a manager with passion, somebody who will tell them the truth and who will tell them the truth to their face, and not sugarcoat it. And is sugarcoated it for so long. It got to a breaking point, and it's shown that passion. And you get one or two reactions. Either the players respond in a positive way and say, "We're going to prove you wrong," or they'll say, "Nah, we lost what you guys. That's not going to happen." Chuma, I'll come back to you, Klaus. Chuma, please, you want to say something?
Oh, well, Klaus just said exactly what I would say. Alex Ferguson would have roasted them inside that dressing room. He would have killed every single person in that dressing room. He would not do it in the press. There's a sense of entitlement that Antonio Conte has. And I was listening to something the other day where they said it's a Juventus entitlement. You find it in a lot of ex-Juventus players and ex-Juventus managers. There's this "you're beneath me" mentality, and it's not professional. Every Spurs fan knows the things that are wrong with our club. We've heard it before. Other fans have bantered us with the same things he said. It's obvious. However, you don't do that. You just don't do that because you're coming back on Monday to take training, or Tuesday. He gave them 2 days off. There's so much to be said about the fact that yes, you want to get a reaction from your players, and he's done this micro versions of this for the last 12 months. But now, I just don't, I just don't see how it makes any sense to do it the way he did it. And then he comes up with this whole thing of I was talking to the players and not the board. And then he mentions 20 years under this chairman. I was
Yeah,
like,
I wanted to
you
say
don't do
something
that.
about
Those are the
that.
people paying
You
your
don't, you
wages.
don't, yeah. I wanted to say something about that. When you don't say you're talking to the players, then you take a aim at the club. When you mention 20 years, you're not more talking about the players. You're taking an aim at the club. You mentioning 20 years
Looking
is
at the
just saying,
fans
oh,
too.
you guys have been here
Yeah,
20 years. You take the aim at the club, the fans, everyone involved that has been in the process for the past 20 years. That's no, they are not taking the aim at the players anymore. In fact, it's not even, it's more than a board right there and then. Immediately you mention the number of years because you're taking an aim at the. I think you said something about the fans are comfortable. I mean, everyone at the club is comfortable because you included the fans when you said everyone at the club.
everyone's comfortable.
Everybody is
Yes.
comfortable. Yeah, and basically, we are not comfortable. That's why we brought you as a serial winner. That's the reason we brought you as a serial winner. So if you come
Exactly.
and you're saying, "Oh, everybody," is comfortable," if we were comfortable, we would have sacked Pochettino.
So,
Let's just put it
so,
at that.
so herein lies the conundrum, right? So, some are saying, like you're saying now, that he bears some responsibility, if not a lot more of the responsibility, to ensure that the team gets the turnaround, rather than aiming at his players in the public, right? Okay, fine. I mean, get the players, but get them in private, right? Not in public, right? But
Yeah,
that he actually bears responsibility to ensure that the team plays to his instructions, right? And he plays the right tactics to get them to ensure that they
Yes.
get the best out of the players, right? Some people will say to you, look, Conte's tactics
Exactly.
are very predictable in the sense that if it's not 4-3-3, it's 4-3-3. You know? So it's sorry, 3 what does he play again? What does Conte play again? He
Three
plays
four
three
three.
four three. Sorry, he plays 3-4-3, right?
3-2,
Yeah, he plays three
yeah,
four
like
three. So he
3-4-3.
has
Yeah,
the wing backs and then two center midfielders and three in the attack, and then you had the wing backs joining the attack down the line. And people are saying to you that okay, fine, things haven't worked out. We were meant to have worked out, especially in some key matches, right? Now that match was a
yeah,
little very frustrating on a number of for a number of reasons for us because one, we're leading 3-1, right, with 12 minutes to go,
yeah,
and we conspire to sort of get them back to let them get a draw. Okay, granted, maybe the last goal should not have been a penalty, but then again, some people tell you that look, you shouldn't have been in that position in the first place where they're able to attack you, you know, and place you in a position where you have to make a mistake to result in a penalty. Again, I mean,
yeah.
glass half full, glass half, half empty, depending on how you look at it, Chuma, I mean,
Same thing
so
happened. Same thing happened at Forest. Same thing happened at Forest.
exactly.
But for Fraser Foster's keeping out that penalty, Forest was going to be 3-2, and it could have been 3-3 that game if they'd scored that penalty. So that is coaching. That's instructions. That has nothing to do with players, and I'll tell you why. Because at the end of that game, in fact, let's call the game as it was. Southampton were playing continental football against Tottenham. Southampton, bottom of the table, caretaker manager, were passing the ball around Tottenham's midfield, and all of us watched it. That's coaching.
Yeah.
The fact that we were 3-1 up is fortunate. We took our chances. And that's the problem with his football. His football is one of effectiveness, where if you take your chances, you will win. Outside of taking those chances, and there are not a lot of chances created, you will win. When you don't have the ball, when you're not creating chances, you do not stand a good chance to win. And that's what always happens when he drops deep. You don't have the ball, you're under pressure more, the opposing team are attacking you more. So they have a greater chance of winning. And Southampton were coming for us throughout the entire game. Even when we went 3-1 up, they didn't give up. And then what does he do? He subs out an attacking player to bring on a defensive midfielder, which already tells his team, preserve the lead. The mentality switches to defend, 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 make sure we come away with this. And you're prone to more mistakes. It's what happens in football all the time. But it happens to him more often with Tottenham this year. Last year, it didn't happen as much because he was a bit more front foot. But this year, it's just been pure out, and we've defended him. We've tried to see the best part of him, blah blah blah. But let's be honest, everyone said it from the start of the season. We were a bit lucky. Second half, they come out because they have nothing else to lose, and they just come out attack. But he sets them up very, very defensively, and it's something he's done in coaching. I don't know what he's doing, but To say it's the players, yes, the players didn't defend properly. They didn't do this, but that's your job. What's your job? What's your 15 million pounds a year for? If you can't get players to come out and press, you took off Koro and Kulusevski, two of the best players in that game for Spurs. And not that they were outstanding, they were just the ones doing the best work. And that's my view. It's him.
Okay, so where do we go next? Now, there's rumor that he's going to be sacked or that he might be allowed to stay the end of the season. What do you guys favor? I mean, Klaus, what do you think? I know Klaus has this view about Conte and his tactics.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Conte's tactics because it's a laid back, aggressive type of kind of play. Because like Chuma said, when you look at the way Spurs have played throughout the season, I don't think there's hardly ever an halftime analysis that the pundits comes out and say, "Oh, Spurs have been good this first half. They are playing well." It's always the same old story. They've been laid back, yeah, sitting deep. And now there's one thing I notice about Conte's style of play, right? So when you come to the team and you see the type of players you have, right? And you see that, oh, defensively, these players are not good. What do? You don't give or you don't put the ball at the foot of the defenders. You don't allow them come meet you defensively because you know defensively your team is not solid. Everyone in the league knows, every Premier League manager in the league knows that Spurs have the best attacking duo in the world, almost in the Premier League. Let's start from there. When you talk about Son and Kane and anybody you add to those duo, they are the best attacking front you can have in the Premier League. So put the ball at their feet. Why bring them back to defend when you have those? You have Kuliveski, you have Kane, you have Son, you have Richarlison, you have Danjuma. They put the ball at their feet. Don't bring them back to defend. You understand? Now, where do we go from here? I don't. Right from time, I've always said it. Conte is not the right fit for Spurs, right? Because if you've been a Spurs fan for as long as 5, 6 years, you will know that Spurs don't play that kind of football. We don't sit back. Spurs don't sit back. Spurs are not Wolves. Spurs are not Sheffield. Those are the kind of teams that sit back. Brentford, we don't sit back. No, no, to be frank, those if they can sit back, fine. That's the style of play. Spurs don't sit back. And then if you notice Conte's style of play, I think it's always prominent with most Italian teams. When you look at Roma, when you look at AC Milan, when you look at Inter Milan, even the great Juventus, you see a five-man midfield, you see three-man defense, and then you just see two people up front or one Vlahovic up front. I think it's always prominent with them. When you look at Roma, when you look at Inter Milan, when you look at that's why AC Milan was able to outstay us in the same type of formation because most of them use the same type of formation in Italy. But guess what? Napoli went on the front foot this season, and what happened? They left everyone behind. Why? Because they are playing front foot football. Napoli don't sit back. You don't see Napoli playing a three-man defense, four-man midfield, then sitting back. Napoli left everyone behind. They are leading the table with how many points? See the
There's a
likes of
rumor that
Roma.
Spalletti was coming to Tottenham. Is that right, Chuma?
No,
What do you say?
so like you say now, everything Klaus is saying is everything that I'm just here. Like you guys said, I've gone to the dark side. It's not the dark side. It's the fact that I actually like Conte. I actually understand Conte's tactics. But it's exactly what Klaus said. If you know your defense isn't good, like I wrote something somewhere for someone, I think it was on Twitter, and I said that Gerard Piqué for Barcelona is not a great defender. Gerard Piqué has never been a great defender. But he played for a Barcelona team that will choke you from midfield to attack. So the ball will never come to Gerard Piqué. And so if you manage to break their line, Piqué just mops up and gives it back. So now it's like, Piqué is one of the best defenders. No, Piqué didn't have to do any work. Rafael Varane didn't have to do any work. Now at United, you're seeing they're coming for Varane. Like they come for him. Like he's trying very hard to stand up, and he's a good defender. But in this country, they're coming for Varane in a way he never saw in Spain because you're playing with attackers and midfielders that are front foot. But in terms of Conte now leaving and who they are looking at and stuff like that, whether they should sack him. For me personally, for what he did to the club in that press conference, it's called bringing the club into disrepute. That thing for me is gross misconduct. That's my view. I don't know legally if Spurs can prove it. I think Simon Jordan was saying the same thing on Talksport. That personally, I won't pay him a penny because what
Yeah,
you did was you
I
came
think
on air.
what Conte did was almost it's
Yes,
almost the same with what Danny Rose did then. I was fined a 2 weeks
yes,
wages.
yes,
It's always
exactly. So you
tantamount
should
because
find him
you can't
wages.
use the same. Yeah, you can't speak against the club and then you expect the club to
You
come back
can't.
and just yeah.
Yes, exactly. So for me, I will place him on gardening leave. I'll do exactly what Bayern Munich have done to Nagelsmann. So Nagelsmann hasn't been sacked. Nagelsmann is more or less on. Yeah, he can see out his contract. It's the same thing, but the difference is if I sacked you, I would either have to sort out your money in full or pay you per week, and then by giving you the free reign to get another job. No, no, no. I'll place you on gardening leave, so you can't even get another job till that thing runs out, which is still going to run out in June. But then I'll keep him on gardening leave. 2 days before his contract runs out, I'll sack him just out of pettiness. That's me because of what he did, because of the press conference. I would do that out of yeah, I would be petty. He was completely petty in that thing because every Spurs fan agrees with everything he said. But there's this whole thing, and you know, if you read the Bible, it says it as well that you can do all things, but you don't have to do them. All things are possible for you to do, but you don't have to do them. There's some things you can say anything you want to say, but sometimes you just have to,
Yeah, it's like working in a
exercise
particular place
restraint.
of work. You are working with a company and you know the problems and the struggle the company is facing. You don't come out publicly to chastise the company you're working with.
Exactly.
You don't come out to chastise them, but you just you chastise them internally, but you don't come out and say, "Oh, this company is a bad company. They've been working for the
Exactly.
past 20 years. There's not been profits." Oh no, you don't do that. You don't do that. Uh,
Exactly.
So,
Especially
Exactly.
when you
which
know the
which
success of the club was placed in your hands.
okay, I mean, I hear you guys all. I mean, and all of these points are quite a valid point. I mean, there's not much that it's very hard to argue against. However, I mean, like I said, there's always the contrary view, which always says that look, I mean, it's got to be said. You know, people just if you can either sort of push foot around it, and people know it, but nobody wants to say it. But hey, he's done the Trumpian thing of saying it, and you know, and damn the consequences. You know, you might not like it or applaud him, or hate it and deplore him. But the speculation points now is that does he get the chop now, or do we bring in a temporary manager? That's the question. Or do we leave
Please,
him until the end of the season, or doesn't
you
even
already
there?
know it's temporary.
Say again.
No, no, no. He
We
gets the
already know
job.
how it's
You
going to
can't,
go. We already know how it's going to go. It's Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason till the end
yeah,
of the
you
season.
get the job. You can't be
I already
complacent.
know that.
You
Be-
just get the job ASAP.
yeah,
Okay. So
because
potential replacements. I mean, we're
yeah,
getting lots of rumors, and I mean, we're getting all sorts of stuff. I mean, for me, I mean, you have people like Poch, Luis Enrique, Julian Nagelsmann. How true these rumors are, we don't know because all of it is just press speculation. We haven't had any statement from the club or anybody, what you might call like a reliable source. I haven't heard a Romano or what's that guy's name in Times who sort of comes up with the what you might call the almost close official lines, if you like, yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, good.
it's a bit difficult to say what the position is now. Of these choice of managers that we're going to, I mean, we'll probably have a different program to deal with that. But these are interesting choices, aren't there? Chuma.
yeah, very very because I think it's such a blessing to Spurs that all the managers that are out of work, they're like 4 or 5 that are front foot, they're attacking, and they can add something different. I mean, anything right now is different to Conte and Mourinho for me. I have my preference in terms of how they would be, but I don't mind any of those names at this moment in time. If you can secure any of them, everyone. I think the overwhelming favorite is actually the overwhelming favorite was Pochettino. But the minute Nagelsmann became free, I went on certain like places online, and Nagelsmann went straight to the top in the betting. They more or less suspended the betting on him. He's odds on, and I don't know where or why they're coming up with him being odds on. I don't know what story is going on, but he's odds on, and I think it's just brilliant to have all of them available at the same time, and Spurs can pick and they can forge an identity with these guys. They're identity managers. That's the thing. They are project managers. They are not serial winners. And that word serial winners, I never want to hear that again at Tottenham unless it's a Tottenham manager that has now become a serial winner of Tottenham. I never want to hear that word
Serial
again
winner,
from
yeah.
Tottenham.
Very interesting. We'll come and examine that in a separate program. But thanks for this, guys. I mean, it's been an interesting time in Tottenham this international break. We don't know what is holding. There's a lot of speculation. There's no statement from the club, and everyone's in a bit of a limbo. But hey, that's Tottenham for you, and we just hope for the best, and we look forward to seeing what it all holds out for us. But most importantly, we almost forgot the key incident or occurrence or big news that happened um, over the course of this international break. Harry Kane, record breaker. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? Now, I mean, I watched that match, and this is the first time I'll see an England team actually go out and dominate teams. They actually dominated Italy
First
in
half.
that first half. They played a Spurs in the first half and did a Spurs second half in the first half.
Did a reverse Spurs in the second half.
I know it was
Yeah.
the second half. But I thought they were brilliant. It was a very, very solid performance against Italy. They had them on the back foot all the way. They were pressing. They had, I mean, attack upon attack. And it could have been three. I mean, if not for Grealish, who missed that glorious opportunity to make it
Yeah.
through pass from Kane. But, I mean, I know people are saying about Mr. Kane not having a trophy and all. But I think that's disrespectful, though. Recognize his achievements, right? He's top scorer for England in the history of England. That is phenomenal. You know, it is for me. It's phenomenal. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's
I
Kane.
clap.
Well, it's Kane. That's all I can say. It's Kane. Everybody knows it's Kane. If Kane, like I always tell people, when you say, "Oh, Kane hasn't won a trophy," if Kane wanted to just get a trophy in the bag, you just easily go to places like Bayern Munich that were all out for him and they win the league every season. But it's Kane. Kane will get his honors with or without the trophy, and that's what makes him more respected. Because when you don't even have that trophy in the bag and people call your name, no matter what, people call your name first. Now, Kane goes above the likes of Wayne Rooney. No matter how many trophies Wayne Rooney has, Kane will always be above him, right? Because Kane is one of the best, if not the best, that India has ever had up there in front. And he has the stats to prove it any day, anytime.
Thanks for that, Klaus. I mean, a lot of sports would love to hear that. Chuma, you got a country review?
No, I agree. And the funny part is his record, if you break it down into like bits, he scored the most goals for an England player. He's only 29 years old. He's done it within 80 caps, 81 caps, which is far quicker than Rooney did. He still has, God willing, another 4 or 5 years playing at
Yeah,
the top of his
of
game.
years to go.
If he
Yeah.
scores like 10, and he averages like 8 England goals a year. So you're looking at this as being that this guy could literally take this to 80. He could take this to wherever he wants to leave it if he's functioning and firing. Then he also has the most goals, I think, in the tournament for England. He has the most goals as captain for England. There's so many categories even within this England thing, and he's an amazing player. Tottenham fans have known it for years. Tottenham fans would not begrudge him leaving. This is the thing that other fans used to banter us. But it's the truth. We wouldn't begrudge him leaving Tottenham.
Absolutely.
It hasn't happened for him, but I personally believe that if Tottenham forged an identity, and I felt we were close after this last season, with Conte, that look, if Conte could have changed his mindset as a coach and tried to forge an identity. Spurs could have won something this year. The cups were open. Chelsea and Liverpool, Manchester United ended up overcoming their struggles with Ten Hag. But Liverpool and Chelsea were out. Arsenal were out of the cup. This was a very good opportunity. That Sheffield United match was huge. And of all the games to not play him in or start him in, after starting him in all these minor stupid games over the years, even Conference League, to do that to him, I felt was a disservice. But if he stays with Tottenham and we get one of these guys we'll talk about in another show, I think I think he'll win a trophy. But without the trophy, he's who he is. Alan Shearer only won the trophy because Manchester United drew with one team. If not, Blackburn would not have won that league title. Beyond that,
Yeah,
what has Shearer really?
yeah, I think one thing Harry Kane to also be looking forward to is the type of manager Spurs get over the next few days. Because if you're being pragmatic about the kind of manager you get, like the likes of Mourinho, of Conte, he's not going to get much out of them. But when you get a front-footed manager, he knows he's going to score more goals. And Harry Kane is interested in that more goals. If he scores more goals and they are able to attack, and when Harry Kane is scoring, when Kane is firing, Son is always on at the top of their game anywhere in the Champions League, in the league itself. But we can see it from this season that even like Son Son is out of form and Spurs are struggling. If just imagine you add Son Sterling to it with what Kane has had so far, that's it. That means Spurs is up there again. But well, still have 10 games to go. We'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, I mean, we still have 10 games to go. Everyone's looking forward to what's happening towards the end of the season. A close season, if we get to the top four, will be amazing. I said that before. And yeah, we'll hope that all that actually happens. Thank you very much, guys. It's been very, very great having you. I'll look forward to seeing you on the next program. Thank you very much. Take good care.
Thank you.
Right.
All
And come
right.
on, you Spurs.
Yes. That plane.
Yeah.
Still recording.